Hey guys, welcome back. Okay, so today I thought we'd just do a spring collection update, and I thought I'd talk to you about where I'm at with the collecting, what's been happening in 25 so far, and what the future is going to be as well. So yeah, obviously, kicked off the beginning of the year. Main focus was collecting that original Xbox and getting all of that finished off. So I had a decent amount of games to begin with, but I had a lot more that I wanted to add to the collection. And as you saw, I posted pickup videos as I was collecting those games. Really great, I really enjoyed that. Hope you enjoyed it too. If you haven't already seen them, check them out on the channel. There's a playlist on my channel for the Xbox collection. But yeah, I'm really happy to have finally finished that particular collection. And it's doing me quite well at the moment, having this focus of going from collection to collection and just finishing off certain ones, so that eventually I can really get to the meat and potatoes of what I actually like to collect the most of all, which of course is cartridge-based gaming. But that's way off in the future. I am sort of dabbling, I ain't gonna lie. I do buy the odd little thing here and there, of course I do, and when I've got enough of them, I'll put videos up and talk about them. But yeah, I'm not going hardcore cartridge right now. At the moment, I just want to get on with the Xbox 360 collection, which is my next focus, which, as you know, I've posted a couple of videos already. I've got a few games on the shelf, well, a couple on the shelf, and I've got some more on the way. So once I've got a decent stack, I'll do another pickup video for them. So that's really nice. It's going to be good to finish off the 360, the PS3, the Xbox, and then not have to think about that. I do have to, that gap that you always see on the shelf there, that'll be for PlayStation 2. So I haven't got around to doing that yet. I've got a history with the PlayStation 2. Unlike most gamers, I've had a love and hate relationship with that console, and I've grown to like it a lot. Let's put it that way. And at this point, there are so many games on it that are exclusive that I love playing. It's worth owning the console. Yeah, so I've got to sort out the PS2, finish off those. That would be a very short amount of games. I don't even know if there's any point making videos about those, because really most of the games that I buy are the ones that you've seen me talk about a million times over. So there's plenty of PlayStation 2 videos you can watch to talk about those games. But any games that come out that I pick up that I haven't already talked about, then I could probably do a video or two about them. We'll wait and see on that one. But yeah, so that's the plan really. I've got the Xbox done, doing the 360 pickups. I know it's not for everybody. I know the 360, even though it's 20 years old, is not, in most people's minds, probably mine as well, really true retro, because it's very much like the modern era of gaming. I get that. But I really want to just make this my journey and my focus, because it's keeping me on track with the collecting as in general and the gaming, and I'm really enjoying doing it. So I want to get the 360 finished. Then, as I say, I'll get the PS2s in those gaps, in that gap there. I probably will only fill that gap. There's not that many PS2 games that I actually want, and as I'm only going for most, yeah, I'm pretty much going exclusive. I think the only exception will probably be like a Dead or Alive 2, because I had that at launch in 2000, so it's a nostalgic game for me. So that makes sense. And then from the PS2 after that, once all that's done, we're going back to the 90s and my personal favourite era, for everything: gaming, music, films, life. Everything's the greatest time that I've had since I've been on this planet. So yeah, then it's going to be a case of, I'm probably going to start, I think, with the Nintendo 64. I'll just get those couple. I don't have a lot of games that I need now. I've got most of the ones I want. It's really just like, obviously, if I get the Mario games, I want Mario 64, Mario Kart 64. What else do I need? Yeah, there's a couple of others that I want. There's not many. I've got a very small list. I'm just trying to think of what I would get. I was tempted to try Wipeout, but I don't know, because I never got on with the PlayStation game. So is it worth investing in the N64 game? Probably not. Probably be cheaper to buy the PlayStation game anyway if I'm going to try the Wipeouts again. And yeah, there were a few little bits here and there. I mean, I was interested in Tony Hawk games, but then I thought, well, they're not easy to come by actually from looking on eBay. They don't come up very often, and in very small quantities at that, especially the first one. So it's not worth it. You can pay £10 a pop, £15 a pop to get them in mint condition on PlayStation, or you can pay 40, 50, whatever for N64 versions. It ain't worth the money. So yes, so I want to finish off the N64, and once the N64 is finished, really that is when I'm going to be like proper, like full on old school Snestastic collecting really. I mean, it might seem like that anyway, but I feel like I'm not really finishing off collections after that. These, I've got a couple of PS1 games on the shelf, a handful, about 10 or something, I'm not sure. But I don't class that as really making any indent into the amount of games I want for that console. The PS1 has got a huge library, and there's a lot of games I want for it. So that really is like starting a collection from scratch in a way, even though I've got a couple of games on the shelf. So that won't be a finish off collection, that'll be a continuous videos coming out for that one, as and when I pick up games for the system. And then of course, once we get past that, and this is what I'm going to do, I'm not going to just, like I'm doing now, it's like I'm solely 360, then I want to get the PS2, then I want to finish off the N64. I will mix it up in the videos, and I'll be putting, I've done videos even this year where I've had stuff apart from the Xbox where I've just put it all into one big pickup video. So I will be doing that as well, because I am going to be picking up cartridge stuff as well. It's just, I just can't resist it. I see it all the time on eBay, and I feel the need to want to buy it, and I do. So there's little bits that I'm adding in everywhere. So yes, once the PS1's on the go, I may even just not even have like dedicated PlayStation videos. I might end up just doing retro pickups, and you'll have a PS1 game or two in there. You'll have some SNES, you'll have some Mega Drive. You may have even some 8-bit in there, because I really want to get into the 8-bit again at some point. But I'm just trying not to spread myself in. There's still a few different consoles that I want to own. So yeah, I mean, that's where I'm at with the actual software side of things. In terms of the hardware, well, you know, just to run you through what I've got currently, I've got a PS1, a PS3. I don't have a PS2. I ain't going to go into that, but that'll happen eventually. I'll get one back. I've got a PS4 Pro. I've got the original Xbox, which I don't have a box for, so I may or may not get a box one at some point. I think I will, because they're not that pricey. I've got an Xbox 360e. I've got an Xbox One X in Robot White, which is just there. Absolutely loving that. I've got the Switch. I've got the PAL Super Nintendo Mario World pack, the Ultra Beast Mega Drive pack, and I've got my vanilla N64, just standard, no special pack. What else have I got? I've got PSP, of course, 2000. I've got the DSi XL. I've got my original black Wii. I've got all my Evercade stuff as well. I've got the Versus console, the original handheld, and the EXP in white. Yeah, so I've got quite a lot. And another little thing that I do, which I don't talk about on my channel, because I know most people don't seem to really be that interested, and I think because it's a modern, if I was doing actual collecting, then maybe I would get an audience for that, but I think with the modern stuff, people aren't that bothered. But Atari, so yeah, I've got the 2600 Plus. I picked up the 7800 Plus earlier in the year, which I showed in the video, and that's a thing that I'm really enjoying, because eventually when I get my new game room, the plan is that I want a small flat screen just set up in a dedicated area for emulation, so I'll have my Evercade set up with the Versus, and I'll have my two Atari 2600, 7800 Plus set up. And I'm not, as I say, I'm not collecting Atari. I'm not doing like Jay Cybersnake 7 has just recently put a brilliant video up where he's rebuilding his childhood Atari games, which is fantastic. I really enjoyed watching that. And so what I'm doing is, because Atari are doing such a good job with their modern releases, I'm literally just buying those. And obviously with the Plus systems, they're not, I mean, they are emulated in a way, but they're not like the mini systems. So like the games you buy brand new will work on original Atari hardware, and vice versa. Original Atari software will work on the current Plus systems, which is an absolutely brilliant way of doing it. So I've been really impressed with what they've been putting out, and they put out a stack of games at the end of last year, which I still haven't picked up. I've got to pick those up. There's another, I think 5 coming out in July, which I'm going to get, because I really like the 5 that are coming out in July. There's not one that I'm not interested in. They all look fantastic. I think there's only 1 or 2 from last year, which was like those Asteroids games. It was vector graphics, and it really didn't appeal to me. But yeah, that's another thing I'm doing. So I've got a lot of different systems, and I'm juggling them, but I'm not getting completely overwhelmed by it. As I say, having this focus with the Xbox and now the 360 has really helped me to keep that laser focus and not just go crazy, which is so bloody easy, as we know as collectors. So yeah, so that's really where I'm at with the hardware. In terms of any future hardware, well, there are a couple of systems that I definitely will be picking up. It's just a case of finding the right price and the right condition, and you know, when the time comes, I will buy them. And what I'm looking at right now, it's a lot of Sega actually, surprisingly. There's one Nintendo system, because I don't own it yet, and that's the NES, which I want to get one of those, get a new 72 pin in there, get it RGB'd, all the business, because it looks incredible with the RGB mod. And then Sega wise, I want to get a Master System, because I absolutely love the Master System. I never grew up with it. As I've said in videos before, I played it on a couple of my friends, they had them, so I played it a little bit in the 80s, or maybe early 90s, I'm not sure. I've never it's not a nostalgic system for myself, but as an adult, as a collector, I've owned a couple of Master Systems, and I really enjoyed playing the system a lot. The one game that stood out for me was Robocop versus Terminator. Anyone who's watched me for a long time remember, I was doing a gameplay the one night of that game, ended up completing the whole game. I had a great time. I really like that game a lot. And there are a lot of others I really like the Sonic game, Golden Axe, and Castle of Illusion on there is really good. You know, for me, Sonic, as much as I like the Mega Drive ones, I prefer the Master System. They feel more like platforms, where Mega Drive's all about speed, and yeah, it can be a little bit too much sometimes. I want to slow it down, but yeah, I really like the Master System. So I want to get a Model 1 Master System in the box in nice condition. I want to get an NES in nice condition in the box. I'm not particularly bothered with the NES as to which one I get. I mean, it can, to me, the control deck is enough. I'm not fussed, you know, about getting the Mario 3 pack, or I'm certainly not fussed about the Ninja Turtle one, because that is ridiculously expensive, and I'm not going to shell out for that at all. Also, I want to get a Sega Saturn at some point. That's another one. I would love a Dreamcast, but honestly, the price of Dreamcast consoles is all over the place. So I have been seeing some slightly better deals recently. Also, you have to deal with yellowing as well. A lot of the consoles seem to be yellow now, which is quite frustrating. Luckily, the Dreamcast games, though, are still reasonably priced and quite affordable. So for the games that I would want to play on that system, it's an achievable system. So I'll look at that in the future. But there's a lot of great games I want to play. Like I want to play on Power Stones and Soul Calibur and Confidential Mission, Crazy Taxi, and just get some real nostalgia going on. So yeah, that's those. Obviously, I'm probably going to pick up more. Well, I am going to pick up more Super Nintendo hardware. There's accessories as well, like the Super Scope, which I have to have. I love that. I've never owned a mouse, I don't believe. I want to get that. I also want to get a PlayStation mouse, because I've never owned one of those either. There's all these little things. I want to get like an arcade stick for the SNES, arcade stick for the Mega Drive as well. And I also have a Super Famicom on the way right now from Japan. It'll be here next week. Japanese, man, they're so incredible. I literally ordered it on the Friday. Ordered it on Friday. They shipped it Saturday morning. Well, literally overnight, actually, to be quite honest. When I woke up, I got a notification it was shipped. And then it's arriving on Tuesday. This is now Saturday. I'm absolutely blown away. So, in fact, no, I've got it completely wrong. It's Saturday today. I don't know what day it is anymore. I ordered it on Thursday. It was shipped yesterday on Friday. It's coming next Tuesday. That's better. So, yeah, but anyway, the point is, for some weird reason, they've used express delivery, which I can't get my head around. So, yeah, so I've got a Super Famicom coming. I'm in the market for a Japanese Mega Drive as well. That doesn't mean, by the way, that the PAL stuff is going anywhere. It's staying. That's part of my collection. Things have changed a lot with me over the last year, and without going into any of it, it's completely changed my mindset as well. And so I don't care anymore, and it's a case of if I've got the money, I'm buying it and I'm building my collection. You know, I'm watching Stu Ninja Bear Hug build his collection back up now, and he said yesterday he was doing his Sega pickups, and he was saying about his Master System games how before, in the past, he wasn't too fussed about manuals and hang tabs and everything. He was just wanting to play the games and have them in the collection. Whereas now, this is the collection he's building. He's not going to sell. It's going to stay with him for the rest of his life. So therefore, he's got a bit more attention to detail, and he wants them with the hang tabs in nice condition, complete. And you know, I'm feeling the same way. Unless something really bad happens and I have no choice, you know, if my life went to shit and I had no choice, then obviously all of this is just stuff, and you sell it and you improve your life, and then you get back into it at a later date. You don't just trundle on oblivious, of course. But right now, the way my life's going, I feel quite happy with what I'm doing, and I'm going to continue to build these collections up. And I really just want, the idea for me is to just have all the games that I love playing, irrespective of what other people like. If people like the same types of games as I do, and we can have conversations about that, that's absolutely fantastic. But we all have different tastes, which is what makes the community so much fun to be involved with, and to watch other people's videos and listen to why they love games that you don't really understand or don't like at all. But yeah, I just feel like I want to have like shelves and shelves of, I want to have all my favourite hardware, so I don't never have to think about buying them again. They're just there to play, and have all my favourite games that I can just go, as I've said right from the beginning when I started doing this like 20 years ago. It's like a library, isn't it? But that's what we're building. We're building our own personal library. And you can do that with books, you can do it with music, you can do it with film, and we do it with video games. And that's really what it comes down to, is having it always accessible, never having to think about, oh, I can't play that game. You know, in the digital age right now, where if you don't buy your physical media, you're bound to the streaming services, and if they take a film down, you're unable to watch that film. Whereas if you've got a physical Blu-ray or DVD or, you know, 4K, it's always there. You can always play it. And the same with our games. You know, the way that the Sony and Microsoft are going, eventually they are going to just, and they might do it next generation in PS6 era, we don't know. They may just go fully digital and say, well, that's it, we've had enough. We're no longer able to produce physical games. And then you're stuck because you may or may not have access to that game in so many years' time. So yes, I like the fact that I'm going to be able to build my own personal library and be able to just access anything I want, whenever I want. So that's really where I am. And I thought this would be a really good idea to do a spring update. Maybe we can do an autumn update as well, just to see how the collection is going and how it's grown and how I'm feeling about the collection as well. And even a winter one. I think they make quite a nice idea, a nice casual, just to chat with you guys, just to let you know where I'm at. And it'd be nice to hear from you as well. Where are you with your collecting right now and your gaming? You know, what is your thoughts around how your collecting is going? Are you happy with what you're doing? What are your plans? What do you really want to focus on? What hardware or software are you really trying to track down right now that's really important to you? As I said, I've got my Super Famicom coming, so there's going to be a lot of Japanese stuff coming my way. You knew I was going to get into it eventually. I had to dabble back into the Japanese market or the import market in general. And I will be honest, I have done a lot of research in the last couple of months because I've been thinking about this for a while. And I've looked at the Japanese Super Famicom, Mega Drive, and of course, obviously the American market. American Super Nintendo is just a no-go. I would absolutely love to have been able to come on here and to rebuild my American collection, but price-wise, it's just not possible these days. When I look at the price of a box console, plus delivery and taxes, it's just astronomical. And then the games, some of them seem to have come down in the last 5 years because they went crazy a few years back, but now they seem to be coming down, but they're still so expensive, and to try and get them in the best condition, I just can't be bothered. Genesis is alright, although it's Genesis, not Mega Drive, of course, but yeah, the Genesis stuff, even the consoles, about $200 maybe for a good boxed one. Games are fairly decent. I mean, they're still, obviously because you're importing, you're paying extra, so it can get quite pricey. Whereas the Japanese market still, even all these years later, is still very affordable. It's still one of the best entry points when you're talking 8 and 16-bit anyway, for definitely. If you want the 60 Hz experience, the Japanese market is still, for me at least, I think the best way to go. Super Famicom, though, I will be honest, is becoming a nightmare to get a console because so many of them have gone yellow. It's insane how many yellow consoles, and there's tons of consoles on eBay. And trying to get a box one, if it's not yellow, immaculate, is just insane. The prices I've been seeing like $250, $300. I'm like, come on, that's just absolutely stupid. There's no way. My one, I got the guy listed it a couple of days back, as I said. I couldn't believe it. All in total, it was 85 delivered, which is phenomenal. And it's supposed to be in really clean condition. It looks like it is in the photos. I'll wait and see when it actually arrives. I trust the Japanese. They're generally really, really accurate with their descriptions, so I don't think I'll have a problem with it. But yeah, it's something I learned today, which was quite interesting. A bit of a sidebar this, but import tax, I've not had to do this for so many years now. And back like 20 odd years ago, import tax in the UK was anything over £18 got taxed. And then of course we had Brexit in 2016, so anything in Europe was going to get taxed when that comes into our country as well. Whereas before Brexit, anything we bought from Europe, we didn't get taxed at all, it was free. But now apparently the rules are, from what I've seen on the government website, is that import tax is now being raised to £135, which is absolutely mad. I can't believe they did that in a time where they need to bring taxes in and raise the economy. But I will say, the one thing I think maybe the reason for that is probably because customs used to get rammed because there was always stuff in there getting checked. And when you've got a low bar of £18, you're going to have a shitload of parcels to go through. Maybe that was a factor. But also I found out that eBay now, when you import, the VAT is added immediately on your checkout. So eBay do that on behalf of the government. So you have to pay you 20%, which is good actually. You haven't got to think about it getting stuck in customs and anything. You can just pay for it up front and it comes. So yeah, I'll go for 85, and that's for the console in the box with the express shipping from Japan and the VAT. I mean, that is an exceptional price. So really chuffed about it. I can't wait till it arrives. The box, I will be honest, is not the best box in the world. Obviously, it's not mint. It has got wear, but I'm fine with that. To be fair, the Super Famicom box isn't that exciting anyway, is it? It isn't like the Power and American ones where we got the Starwing pack, Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Mario All-Stars in yellow, and all the really cool boxes. The Japanese got a little bit screwed, I felt. So yeah, that's another thing I'll be doing. And as I'll pick up a Japanese Mega Drive at some point, I'll be picking up games for that as well. Yeah, it's been really interesting because I've been talking to James Time Warp James about all this. We've been having a good old discussion, and he's been really giving some clarity as far as, you know, as far as like in the past, a lot of us would say like, you know, I've got a Super Nintendo collection, I've got a American Super Nintendo collection, I've got a Super Famicom collection, or I've got a Japanese Mega Drive collection. Most James just said it's just a Mega Drive collection, or it's just a Super Nintendo collection. If they're all on the shelf together, it's all the same console, and I really like that because it really gave me a little bit of clarity of thought as to, yeah, you don't need to own one or the other. You can just own all of it and just enjoy it. Now, as long as you've got the money and it's not affecting your life in a negative way, just go out, enjoy the hobby, make the most of it, and just buy the things that you want to buy. And just, you know, life is far too short. I know people say that all the time, but trust me, it is far too short to be procrastinating about things that really are not that important. You know, if you can afford to have a hobby that you enjoy and love, and you've paid all your bills and your life's all settled outside of your hobby, you can just take that time to just chill, make yourself happy. Do it as much as you can, because one day you won't be here, so make the most of it. Okay, so that's a bit of a somber note, but there you go. So that's where I'm at, guys. So Xbox 360 is the main focus. Videos are coming for that. Then I'll fill up the shelf with the PS2 stuff, may or may not do videos for that, and then we're just going to go to everything else: PlayStation, N64, SNES, Mega Drive, import gaming. Eventually I'll get a Master System, a Saturn and an NES. I'm just going to go through it, the whole lot. I don't care anymore. I'm going to make the most of this, and I'm going to be making lots of videos for you guys as well. And it's been great. Thank you very much for everybody that's been watching my videos this year. I've been doing really great with the channel. The views have been fantastic. The comments have been absolutely superb. And that's what I'm here for, the comments, the interaction, the community side of things. That's why I started YouTube in the first place, and that's why I'm going to continue to make videos. So there you go. Thank you very much for watching this, guys. I hope it's been slightly interesting for you. Let me know your thoughts down below, and let me know, as I say, what are your plans with your collecting? Where are you going right now? What is your focus? What do you want to get to? What's your destination? Is there anything you particularly want to get, like whether it be games or it actually be hardware as well? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.